Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new and you've been watching my videos and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Just hit the subscribe button, click on the notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload new videos. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. I do not take the love for granted like I always say. So on today's video, I'm going to be deviating away from student visa, tier 4 kind of visa. I'm going to be talking about another route in which you can use in migrating to the UK. I know student visa is expensive and it's an issue. When it comes to money, it might be an issue for certain people. So now I decided, okay, let me look for another opportunity that you can use to come into the United Kingdom. And today I'm going to be talking about the skilled worker visa. It's another way in which you can use to come into the United Kingdom. Let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so the name of this visa is called the skilled worker visa. We're just going to look at the overview of what this visa is all about. So this particular visa allows you to come and stay in the UK once you have an eligible job with an approved employer. The visa is referred to as Tier 2 General Work Visa. You can see that is different from the Tier 4 Student Visa. So for you to be eligible for this particular kind of visa, the Skilled Worker Visa, you must have a UK employer that has been approved by the Home Office. I'm going to go through the list of some of the employers, and I will even put their list, the link to the list in the description box. Also, you must have a certificate of sponsorship from the employer. You must have a job that is on the list of eligible occupation. I'm going to put in that link in the description box as well. And also, there's a particular minimum salary that you should be earning. For you to be able to apply for this type of visa, you must also show that you've got knowledge of English. I'll be discussing that in another video as well. How long can you stay in the UK when you're on this type of visa? So when you're on the Tier 2 worker visa, you can stay in the UK for up to 5 years. And after that 5 years expires, or you've used up your 5 years, you can apply to become a permanent resident in the United Kingdom. You see, it's a win-win situation. You're earning money and you get to have a permanent residence, and afterwards you get to apply for your British citizenship. Hooray! Yeah. So for you to apply, you can apply while you're outside the UK. You can also apply while you're in the UK. While you're in the UK, you can switch your visa from Tier 4 to Tier 2. And you, like I said, for the student visa, you can come in 3 months before the start of your school. It's also applicable here. You can come in 3 months before the start of your employment in the UK. And usually application process time, takes about 3 weeks when you're outside of the UK. And when you're in the UK, it takes about 8 weeks. All right. How much does this particular visa cost? So I can't really place my hand on the application fee now, but I just know you have to pay your application fee. You're also paying the healthcare subcharge fee, like the student visa as well, which is still the same price, £624. And you must also have certain amount of money in your personal savings. This personal savings one, it's not a lot of money. I think it's just around £1,000 that you must have in your account. So let's look at what you can do and what you cannot do while you're on this type of visa. When you're on this type of visa, you're eligible to work, you can study, you can bring in your partner, your children as your dependent, and you can also take up some additional work. That means you can still work extra 20 hours. You can take up voluntary job. You can travel outside of the country. You can come back in. You can go to other countries as well. And subsequently, like I said, you can apply for your citizenship later on. What you cannot do is that you cannot change your employer. But if you want to change your employer, that means you have to put up another application. All right, now, so let's move up to the documents that you'll be needing to make this type of application. You're going to be needing your certificate of sponsorship. You're going to be needing your proof of knowledge of English I said I'm going to discuss that in another video. Yeah, you're going to need a valid passport, the job title and the annual salary, the minimum salary. You're going to need the occupation code. I'm going to put the link in the description box. Don't worry about that. The name of your employer, and that's your employer is basically your sponsor. Yeah, you can get that on that list of approved sponsor that I'll be putting in the description box. So those are the documents that you need that you need for application for this type of visa. And also don't forget, you have to provide evidence that you're able to support yourself. A bank statement, like I said, it's not a big amount of money like that. And if you're bringing in your kids or your wife or your husband, you have to prove your relationship with them, your marriage certificate, the birth certificate when you're applying. And when you're staying longer than 6 months in the UK, you have to do a tuberculosis test. I forgot to mention that in the student visa video that I did. So you need to do a tuberculosis test. And also for this one, you're going to be showing your criminal record certificate, which is equivalent to the police report. You also need a valid ATAS certificate. We'll talk about that later. And the last one is if you're coming for a PhD related job, then you're going to be needing that. If you're not, then that's fine. It's not a problem. Everything I will be linked in the description box below. So these are the list of the approved sponsors in the UK. You can see that is a lot of companies that are on this list. Like I said, I'm going to be putting the link to this particular page on the government's website. I'm going to be putting it in the description box. Even if you're searching for a job, you can Google the name of any of these companies and see if they've got any job opening, and you can start applying for them. You can see there's a lot of companies on here that are approved to sponsor people. And so this takes me to the next page, which is the occupation list. You can see that is a quantity surveyor. They need a quantity surveyor. Another thing that I need to mention is if your job title does not match what is on this list, check if your job description matches any of the job title here. You can also use that to apply. You can see environmental health professional. They even need journalist. See, it's a lot of opening. And what's another one? Paramedics. You can see they even need comedians. They need artists. If you can sing, why not? You're welcome to apply. Musicians, if you see openings, composers, musicians, pianists, songwriters, graphic designs, graphic artists. They need everybody. It's a lot of jobs opening on this particular list. I'm going to be putting the the link to this site, to the description box. You see, they need fitness instructor, gym instructor. Look at, you're welcome to apply. I'm going to be putting the link. Don't worry, you don't have to stress yourself too much. You have access to this particular page by you just clicking the link in the description box. See what they need. Again, they need IT trainer for people that are in the IT sector. They need software tester. Look at, they even need farmers. Imagine, they need herd managers, garden designers. I don't know what that one is. I've never heard of that particular job before, but anyway, it's all good. All right, so that brings me to a particular website that you can see where jobs has been advertised. So this particular job is called the Subway Restaurant Manager. You can see it's clearly written there, sponsorship, visa, accommodation available as well. Just go through the job description, and if it matches yours, just apply for it. And this is another one as well, restaurant manager. It's written on there, UK visa sponsorship available. If you need me to, list out some of this job, just let me know. But this particular ones that I'll be showing you in this video, I'm going to be putting all the link in the description box below. I will be making another video where I'll share you the job sites that you can go to, that you can see companies that are sponsoring visa and they need people in their company. So don't worry about that. And if you think the job title doesn't matches what you're doing currently, don't worry. Like I said, just read the description. It can always go with what you are able to do. This one is a web developer. They've written it on there, tier 2 sponsorship available. Look at, that's what they said the person will be responsible for doing, and there is benefits involved. You've got, and also some of the experiences that you must have 2 years work experience and CSS. The good thing about all this kind of visa is that most of the time they don't really need your school certificate. To be honest with you, they majorly need your experience. That is what they are after. So just read the job description. If it matches with what you know how to do, go ahead and apply. This is another one called the property manager. So they just need for you to have 1 year experience. Imagine. So easy. I'm not saying it's easy anyway. All right, and this one is a full-time job, just Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And you can get to work extra job over the weekend, like I said, because on this type of visa, you are able to do some extra job as well, like 20 hours, I presume. Yeah, and look out. This will be the day-to-day activity of this particular person, if employed. And this is another one called the database developer. It is clearly written. Qualification, bachelor's preferred. Database development, 2 years of experience. And SQL, 2 years of experience. These are for people in IT. Even if your job title doesn't match it, read the job description. If you know this very well, then go for it. All right, I've discussed this one earlier, but you can always go through it. Just read through. You can do voluntary job, like I said. You can travel abroad. You can apply for Schengen visa. You can apply for US visa when you're on this type of visa. But what you cannot do is you cannot get public fund or state pension. And if you need to change your employer, you must update your visa. That means you have to put in another type of application.